Hello, everybody. My name is Howler. Today I will be reading a Substack by somebody called Mytho America. I read his article and I thought it was very interesting. I highly recommend that you check out his X account and his Substack. Thank you for listening. 50 Truths on the Hidden Metaphysics of America. 1. The metaphysical foundation of America is segregation. Without this, it is nothing. This goes beyond black and white race relations, but is more broadly a distinction between light and dark, the old world and the new, ordered civilization and the untamed wild, known and unknown. 2. America is cursed. It is haunted. This is true, but it is also profoundly blessed. God's country, the mysterious darkness of America, draws in and rewards those willing to explore it with untold riches and abundance, never seen before in history. Think back to our pre-revolution ancestors who had crossed the Atlantic to be bequeathed a new world. To the settlers crossing a continent to build great cities, even the cowboys who had been rewarded with gold and fertile land. 3. America's cryptid phenomena is mostly comprised of native gods of the New World, rejected and unincorporated into American Protestantism. South American Catholicism synthesized with Indian paganism. America purged and pushed them into reservations where they roam, forgotten. 4. Guided by the Christian promise of heaven, America's ultimate ambition and fate is to produce utopia. It might have even already, but so too lurks the satanic plot to manifest his own mirrored communistic dystopia. America's future is a clash between these two visions. 5. Horror is the true American genre, fueled by the lingering paranoia that even in the most sheltered and secure suburban utopia, something from the dark will still emerge and penetrate it, leading to the collapse of their safe world. 6. The Protestant work ethic is less about hard work, but more importantly that the work is honest. You get exactly what you put in. No moneylenders or taxmen trying to get in the middle. 7. American Calvinism makes sense when you realize the same country looks and feels like eternal bliss for some people and a terrifying nightmare for the others. It's almost as if the former is inescapably predestined for heaven and the latter for hell. 8. The unfathomable amount of abortions in America was Satan's revenge against the millions God saved by miraculously solving infant mortality in the country years prior. 9. Whether it's Christians believing in the end times or progressive liberals hysterical over climate change, everyone in America is living in a doomsday cult. The Christian prophecy of the rapture is built into the nation's collective unconscious. 10. Silicon Valley could only exist in Christian America, where people in the image of God believe they could create something from nothing. Prophets like Terry Davis knew God's kingdom will be built in an elevated virtual space. Zuckerberg mimics him, just as Satan mimics God. 11. The CIA offers a glimpse into the function of guardian angels and how they operate. Silent protectors with secret knowledge, preventing what they deem to be apocalyptic threats around the globe. Another example of how Satan mimics God. 12. For better or for worse, the Whigger is the ultimate fate of the white man in America, where, due to his proximity to the darkness of the New World, finds himself inescapably influenced by it. Young comments on this further in his essay, Your Negroid and Indian Behavior. 13. The American dream was never about finding transcendence through hard work. It was about kicking your feet up and sipping tea, and doing as little work as possible, free of conflict. Europeans envied this about Americans, as their history is perpetual civil war and serfdom. 14. The spirit of America is much closer to the nomads of the Eurasian steppe than European feudalism. The vastness of the Great Plains facilitates less conflict and more expansionism. For this and many other reasons, Russia and America are brother and sister nations. 15. Skinwalkers are real. They are the drug-addled, violent, and ideologically possessed among us. The ultimate zombie horror realized, populating American cities everywhere as people we used to know but don't recognize anymore, desiring only to cannibalize the self in others now. 16. America is rife with very ancient and unconquered spirits. They incarnate often onto our plane. 17. Many comment on how eating the exact same food in America as they did in other countries make them inextricably fatter and unhealthier. This is because the food here is cursed with the blood of old gods long forgotten. 18. Witch hunts were a viable strategy to protect the nation from demonic invocation. Now occult ceremonies in the woods continue unabated to our severe detriment. 19. Protestantism is fundamental to the American spirit. Separation of church and state is what spurs the American explorative fuck around and find out pioneerism. It also secures its defining and healthy distrust of centralized government and institutions. 20. The cult leader is a definitive Protestant American tradition, where man becomes closest to embodying the image of Christ. It can be said that cults of personality move American history more than anything else. 21. America is a gambler's country of the highest stake, a history of booms and busts, mirroring heaven and hell in scale, the fate of the world always hinging on the risks of the bold and the dumb, and whether these are met with miraculous rewards. 22. American exceptionalism is born from a Christian certainty of salvation, a belief that in the end, we will always triumph against the evils of this world. No amount of civilizational decline or geopolitical losses can trump this winning mindset. Blind faith guides its future. 23. Make America Great Again reveals a central metaphysical contradiction where Americans eternally long to return to a blissful pastime that may have only vaguely existed. Baudrillard called it a nostalgia for the future. I say it's a Christian yearn for heaven, a return to Eden. 24. American xenophobia is both its strength and its weakness. Its puritanical suspicion of the outsider and the exotic maintained its harmony, but its blind paranoia of aliens, demons, and the dark leave many with only a childlike understanding of the true threats of this world. 25. QAnon is American Protestantism at its most mobilized. Billions distrusting the law and fake news of a centralized state, trusting only God's plan for victory. Similar evangelicalism made up Bolsonaro's base in Brazil, both await a truer messiah to lead them. 26. Baseball and golf are the truest expression of Christian America in sports, patient, precise, leisurely, and the most prone to divine intervention. They are also the most civilizing of activities, able to discipline desperate people towards a common cooperative temperament. 27. Nietzsche criticized Christians for their preference in a fantastical heaven, the Hinterworld, as a means to transcend Earth. In modern America, bliss is found in reverse. We are born in an artificial world and seek to escape it into nature, the hinterlands. 28. White identity is America's premier Christian innovation, able to quell conflict between various European tribal races to an ahistoric level, but uniting people through shared customs and ethics could only happen by metaphysically contrasting light from dark, known and unknown. 29. American monopolistic corporatism is another Christian innovation, whereby competition and thus conflict is ceased through expansion, and unique individuality Google has no more competitors because no other company can do everything that Google does, like God. 30. It is a mistake to conceptualize America as a blank slate where a new society was built from scratch out of nothing. It is not Dubai or Israel, even if they share Abrahamic metaphysics. America is instead very old, with things that existed here long before it was settled. 31. Anglo-American austerity is born from a metaphysical sensitivity. Our lack of seasoning in food, for example, has less to do with bland taste and more to do with getting more from less. Extend this to sensing the supernatural, ghosts, UFOs, cryptids, even the Word of God. 32. The UFO phenomenon is more about a self-fulfilling prophecy of American egocentrism than it is superstitiousness. The entertainment capital of the world, drawing all eyes on itself from other countries and realms. A theater where every happening is of utmost cosmic importance. 33. The 24-hour American diner is a metaphysical triumph of Christian universalism over pagan perennialism, linear time over cyclical, a light that stays on, refusing to die every night, a place of relief and refuge that mirrors heaven in its eternity and accessibility. 34. America can be seen as having an adversarial relationship to nature, one of insulation and fear. This is for good reason. The land is cursed and continually threatens man with all kinds of horrors. Tornadoes, hurricanes, sinkholes, floods, hailstorms, earthquakes, and more. 35. America has always failed with imperialism because it's not a universalist culture. It is a universe within itself. Having every kind of terrain and climate, it is a microcosm of the entire world, and more naturally ignores the ongoings outside and pertains to its own. 36. The American worship of celebrities and comic heroes stem from the void left by public separation from local pagan spirits. This, however, allows for the possibility for the deification of new gods and myths, or old ones in new form. 37. American politeness and hospitality is more of an aesthetic choice than it is a contractual, legal, or moral one. Just as turning the other cheek is a strategy to avoid needless quarrels, serving with a smile is means to avoid unpleasantness. Its contagious quality is the heart of Christian American civility. 38. The private and secluded nature of America is abetted by its spaciousness. Minding one's business outside the eye of the state kept scandals behind closed doors and conflict from erupting in public. Here, it is not suspects who are treated with suspicion, it is the suspicious. 39. American media holds a God-given authority on consensus and narrative. It follows that the devil would subvert this by pushing countless false flags, psyops, and other lies to justify his own rule and power, while simultaneously discrediting God's. 40. America is not an idea, it is a spirit, and the confusion between the two mirrors the dichotomy between Satan and Christ. One is a disembodied and abstract interpretation of law, and the other one is a living expression of it. 41. The genre of American Western is a Christian exploration. Both cowboys and sheriff mirror Christ in their self-interpretation of morality, the central conflict being whether salvation is found in existing above the law or wielding it. 42. The noir genre is also definitively American and speaks to a Protestant distrust in institutions and temptations. It shows the negative side of moral investigation and reaffirms the pitfall of naive, Edenic simplicities in the face of the complexity and fallenness of urban life. 43. Cosmic horror is fittingly American too. as it is a representation of the white man within the unfamiliarity of a new world, and the strange entities that dwell within it. No matter how ordinary America hopes to make itself, uncanniness threatens its complete undoing. 44. Obelisks and skyscrapers in America represent the God-given masculine imperative in conquering not only space, but time, as the Egyptians did. Undying value that remains erect forever despite the pulls of gravity and the entropy by the earth. In reaching towards heaven, we will unknowingly build a Tower of Babel as well. 45. The supremacy of Thanksgiving and Christmas in American holiday season are expressions of the nation's overwhelming abundance. Whether through sharing or in gift giving, the celebration is in having and never needing. For to everyone who has will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who has not, even what he has will be taken away. Matthew 25:29. 46. Unlike Europe, America has no sense of royalty to generate its cultural aristocracy from. Instead, it has a monopoly on what is cool, a modern paradigm that elevates the seductively new and revolutionary over what is of the old blood and tradition, just as Christ ushered. 47. The decentralized nature of Protestantism makes mass civil disobedience its highest political capability. It will always struggle to solidify and centralize any institutional power, and this is why it will continually fall victim to mobbish organization and mafias. 48. America is functionally the muscle, rather than the brains behind any play or scheme for power. It's a machine, an apparatus capable of any task, but always is taking on the character of whatever shadowy group is using it, like a spirit animating a body. 49. Oil is the blood of the organism of America. Its highways are its veins. Any propaganda counter-signaling reliance on oil or gas-powered cars is meant to stifle the lifeblood of the country. Without these things, America is spiritually dead. 50. The Americas are the promised land, the final frontier, the end of the world. It is here that all of history will reach its climax, and the battle between God and Satan will be waged. Its divine importance was substantiated by the fortuitousness of its forefathers. We are its blessed heirs. God bless America. If you've made it this far into the video, you've finally reached the end. I really appreciate you listening this far in for my first video. Make sure to check out Mytho America. He's written a lot more than just this, and I will definitely be making more videos on it. But it's better to read and support him directly, alright? Thanks.